bet it's a bullet gonna get the last laugh.
A little over a year ago, I made a video titled Harada says Bandai Namco executives is only interested in milking Tekken 8. At the time when I made this video, I was looking at a news article from IGN. We will cover that same news article, we will double back on it because it's also relevant now, but at the time, I was looking at everything and I was kind of optimistic. Harada is saying this, but it's Harada. Will he actually do this? Will Tekken 8 actually fall to just greed, over monetization, overpriced skins, battle pass, a shop? I was thinking like, no way. No way Harada will do that. We have examples of him in the past saying that he won't put legacy outfits in the game because he feels like he just want to do something new, something different. Like what he was saying then was no, but what we got now is yes. Almost everywhere you look, players are upset with how Tekken 8 is being treated. After the Tekken Talk when they announced the Battle Pass, I tweeted out, Harada says Bandai Namco executives are only interested in milking Tekken 8, and it's obvious now. I listed 4 examples. 1. The overpriced Ultimate and Collector's Edition. This was like the first straw. We were already upset because it was so overpriced and also it was lacking in content. There was nothing there, yet they wanted you to pay $300, $200, $100. Like at least give us the content. And then the other thing that I didn't like as well, and some people are celebrating this and I don't understand why, but me, I just can't get behind it. But if you pay for one of these Ultimate Editions or something like that, you get access to the DLC 3 days early. Now think of it like this. If you were buying the Ultimate Edition for that sole reason, you were then paying $40 to get access to a character for 3 days early. Does that sound fair to you? You're basically paying $10 a character. That is the most greediest predatory thing I ever seen in my life. And the fact that they were trying to say during the Tekken Talk, oh, you can if you have the standard edition, don't worry, you can upgrade, give us another $40. That's where that $40 come in. Upgrade your edition to the Ultimate Edition, and then boom, play the character for 3 days early. In my opinion, bro, it's scummy behavior. The third thing that I listed out is the selling of skins. Now, I honestly don't have a problem, or I didn't have a problem with this. I kind of foreseen that Tekken 8 would do this. Like if you guys been following the channel before the game came out, I called it. I called the Battle Pass as well. But what I don't like is that they're killing mods. They destroyed someone's channel. They almost destroyed another creator's channel. They hit more people. Like it's chaos. They just have no regard for the community that made this game successful as well. Like Tekken 7, yes, it was really hype, it was really fun. A lot of people say it's better, Tekken 7's better than Tekken 8, whatever. But the community is what be saving these fighting games. And now that they're saved, now that they're bigger than ever, they're kind of just saying, screw all of you guys. I felt they killed mods because they were competing with the skins they wanted to sell in the store. And that is despicable, bro. It's despicable. And then the fourth thing, I kind of already touched on this, but customization that used to be free. And when I say free, I mean it's in Tekken 7 right now. It's in Tag 2 right now. Tekken 6, the base versions of those games. Items was removed from those games and now it's being put into the Battle Pass. And it makes sense, like, why Tekken 8 is so lacking in items, because they really are trying to emphasize you to get the Battle Pass and get you into that mindset of spending money. Buying a Battle Pass, you're one step away from buying a skin or $40 of DLC. So I was just looking at this whole situation that Tekken 8 is currently in, and it reminded me of this quote from Harada. Now, before we get to that, Harada and Michael Murray, they both blocked me for this. I am blocked by both of them. They didn't like the fact that I was using their own quote and comparing it to what they're doing and just saying this is a disaster, you know? Now let's shift over to the news article that I'm actually talking about. It was posted by IGN on December the 8th. The headline says, "The Full Game Awards Trailer Breakdown with Kitsu Harada." In this, he talked about a lot of things, right? It was a really, really cool news article. This is the first time Jun Kazama was announced, so he was talking about her re-inclusion into the story. Even though she didn't do anything in the base version of the story, that was a head scratcher. Maybe she will have a bigger part in terms of story DLC, but in the base game, it seems like she should have had a big role. But staying on topic, when you get past all of that stuff and you get down to the bottom, there's a section that says, "Get ready for the next battle." Obviously, Tekken 8 still has a ways to go in terms of development process, and while the trailer answered some of our questions, it raised others. We may have to wait for answers, but what's clear is Harada's passion and love for the franchise and his sense of humor. Just on a personal note, before we keep reading this, I am slowly losing respect for Harada. Like, I used to idolize him, like, oh, Harada, he's a legend, but now I'm kind of just starting to view him as a normal, executive, no different than Fortnite or Call of Duty devs. Like, they're all the same. But it says, if you're worried that June's appearance means that Harada isn't thinking about throwing her son or anyone into a volcano, think again. The quote says, the first people that came to our mind were perhaps certain executives at our company. Harada says they change quite frequently, and some of them are only interested in obtaining the highest profits possible to further their careers, and they have no regard for the development schedule and French timelines. So many of them quickly flash into my head. But if I had to think, and if I had to pick a Tekken character, it's tough because most of them would probably survive if we look at past instances. Now, this last paragraph isn't really related to the situation. We'll double back to the second one, but I do want to read it because of just how Tekken 8 turned out. It says, if I had to pick one from a positive meaning, it would be Jin Kazama, because his father and grandfather each had their turn, but he hasn't. Not to kill him or anything, but to force him to go to the next level, to be a better version of himself. I think throwing him into a volcano would help with that. I do like the foreshadowing in that third paragraph, and it kind of prepares us for the journey that Jin goes throughout Tekken 8. But focusing on the part there where he says that the executives are only interested in obtaining the highest profits possible to further their careers. Because this is the thing, right? In Bandai Namco, in Tekken 8, what they're doing is not new. Selling skins, this is something Fortnite popularized and every other game was consumed by. A battle pass, same thing. I believe one of the first fighting games to ever include a battle pass was Multiverses, and when they did that, a lot of people were instantly sold, but some people was like, hold on, I don't like where this is going, right? And now you can see the same thing happening for the executives. And it sucks here because in this news article, right, at the time when I made the video a year ago, I was looking at what Harada is saying, and he was kind of sounding like he was trying to push back against it. He was like, these executives coming in here trying to tell me what to do and put all this stuff into the game, but it seemed like he wasn't having it. But fast forward a year later, and it's everywhere. The game is absolutely consumed by monetization, and at first I wasn't really bothered. I know they have to make money off the game. They said they want to reinvest it into the game, and that's cool. If you want to reinvest, if you look at Tekken 7, they did do that. Tekken 7, they sold Leroy, Fakenram, busted DLC characters, but then they turned that into better visuals, better sounds, better designs, better characters. They did reinvest a lot of it when creating Tekken 8, and you can even say that for the free story DLC that's coming. Mortal Kombat doesn't do free story DLC. I don't know any games that really do free story DLC. So they reinvest some of it, but at the same time, when you're putting this much into the game, there is no realistic way where you can reinvest all of it. Once again, everything that I can remember Tekken 8 doing is overpriced Ultimate and Collector's Edition, charging $40 to play DLC 3 days early, selling skins and then killing competing mods, and then items that used to be free in past games locked behind the Battle Pass. Like, all of that is completely unnecessary. They're just trying to milk this game dry. It's honestly despicable because Tekken 7 didn't really need to do that. Tekken 7 was the best selling Tekken ever, and they did that by just making the game very, very good. They didn't have all of this stuff around it, and yes, DLC was very obnoxious, but they weren't really like adding all of these extra elements to it to suck the player out of everything. But for Tekken 8, it seems like that's their primary goal. Going around, I can't emphasize this enough, but going around and taking down entire channels because they're uploading mods is crazy, bro. During the whole entire Tekken talk, they didn't even say anything about it, and instead they only announced the Battle Pass, So it just kind of sucks that Tekken is going down this path, and honestly, I don't see them turning back, Regardless of me complaining, you guys complaining, you have to understand that the casual audience eats this stuff up. They will, it's called whales, and some of them aren't even whales. Some of them just like buy something here and there, but whenever a game company do this, they get a ton of backlash, they get a ton of hate. but at the same time, they break record profits. Call of Duty, which Tekken 8 is kind of copying, they do it all the time. They get more and more greedy, and everyone gets more and more angry. But then when you look at their profits, they make $1 billion, $2 billion, most successful selling game ever. That's what Tekken 8 is trying to strive towards. They see what all of these different games are doing, and they say, hey, we want in on that. It was interesting to see how optimistic I was a year ago when I made the first video, even though the evidence was right in front of our eyes. And then two, you fast forward now and you just see everything that they're doing. It's like, it's kind of disappointing.